Take a breath with me for a moment. Because this conversation needs clarity. Not fear, not labels thrown in anger, and definitely not spiritual bypassing. Welcome to the Big Ma Experience with me, Big Ma. Today, I want to talk about the difference between narcissists and narcissistic people. Because not everyone who hurt you is a narcissist, and not everyone with narcissistic traits is beyond healing. Let's set the scene. Let's start with the foundation. Let's start here. Narcissism exists on a spectrum. There are people who show narcissistic traits, and there are people who have narcissistic personality disorder. Those two things are not the same, and confusing them keeps people stuck in fear, bitterness, and misdiagnosis. Now let's start with narcissistic people traits. Narcissistic people are people who display certain behaviors. Things like self-centeredness, a need for validation, emotional immaturity, defensiveness, and insecurity dressed up as confidence. These traits are often learned. They are often protective, and they are often situational. A narcissistic person can hurt you without intending to, and when it's brought to their awareness, they can feel remorse. They can say things like, I didn't realize that I hurt you. I'm willing to work on this. Because these are behaviors, not an identity. Now when it comes to narcissists, also known as NPD, a narcissist is something very different. This is not a vibe. This is not a phrase. This is not just ego. This is a personality structure. A narcissist is wired around control, superiority, entitlement, and a deep inability to access empathy. Their sense of self is so fragile that accountability feels like annihilation. So manipulation becomes survival and domination becomes safety. This isn't about one bad moment. This is about a pattern. The clearest way to distinct is intent versus impact. A narcissistic person may hurt you and genuinely not understand the impact, but when shown the truth, they can reflect. A narcissist, on the other hand, would often deny, deflect, and rewrite reality. You hear things like, you're too sensitive, that never happened, why are you always the victim? Because protecting the ego matters more than protecting the relationship. Now let's talk accountability and change. Narcissistic people can change. They can go to therapy, they can develop emotional intelligence, they can learn empathy. Healing is possible for them. A narcissist rarely seeks change unless their image is threatened. PDD, we're looking at you. And even then, change is not the goal. It is control. Once again, Puff Daddy, looking at you. So ask yourself, do they take responsibility? Do their actions shift over time? Do they respect your boundaries when enforced? Remember, patterns don't lie. Now let's look at the relationship dynamics of either. In a relationship, a narcissistic person may be clumsy in love, but still capable of repair, loyalty, and growth. A narcissist experiences relationships as transactional. You exist to admire them, serve them, regulate their emotions. Love is conditional. Boundaries are threats, and your humanity is inconvenient. With a narcissist, you are not a partner. You are a supply. Why is it that this label is overused? The word narcissist is overused online because it's easier than nuance. Sometimes it wasn't narcissism. Sometimes it was incompatibility. Sometimes it was two wounded people hurting each other. Labeling every painful relationship as narcissistic can delay your own healing. Discernment requires honesty, not just blame. Let me give you a quick discernment check. Here's the real question. Can this person reflect? Can they take responsibility or accountability? Can they grow over time? If yes, you're dealing with traits. That's the narcissistic traits. But if no, consistently, repeatedly, then protect yourself accordingly. You don't need to diagnose anyone. You need to choose yourself. Let me say this clearly. Your healing does not require demonizing people. It does not require saving them either. It requires discernment. It requires boundaries. It requires self-respect. Clarity is power, and self-trust is the real protection. If this brought clarity, share it with someone who needs the truth, not fear. And follow for more grounded conversations about healing, self-awareness, and emotional sovereignty. Now remember to always stay glowing, stay growing, and stay loving you.